This is part 5 of my soundtrack series. My first 3 videos focused on my LP collection. My last video I showed my soundtracks I had on CDs, and that's what this installment is going to be about. This is the last of my soundtracks I have. Not all of the stuff is exactly soundtrack material, but I'm going to include it in this video anyway, so let's get right into it. First up, we got Scream themes. This is one of those compilations of horror themes you get. You usually see them around Halloween time, though I bought this one probably in summer several years ago. It's got a lot of the usual suspects as far as music. Got Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Psycho, Amityville Horror, The Exorcist. I do get a few different things, such as The Power of Evil from Hammer Films' The Devil Rides Out. This is a pretty good compilation. It's got all the original themes, which some of these compilations don't. They got recreations of them, but this one was pretty good. The box has seen better days, but has this nifty little coffin the disc itself sits in. That's Scream themes. Next up, we got Drew's famous Halloween horror movie themes. And once again, Halloween, Psycho, Exorcist, got Jaws. A couple other interesting things though. We got Blade Runner, the Prince of Darkness, a John Carpenter film. But the reason I bought this is because it said it had Friday the 13th on it, and I was hoping at least it would be from the first movie. It wasn't. It was from part 3, which the opening credits music has a synthesizer-driven score, which I like. It's kind of a neat 80s campy theme, but I was hoping for the original one. And we have that. Next up, we have another Drew's famous, as seen on Terrorvision, Halloween movie hits. Once again, it says it has Friday the 13th, but it's part 3. It does have the Hellraiser theme on here, which is kind of interesting. This one also has not just horror movie themes, but it got sound effects, the Cellar, Stretcher Bones, the Howling Swamp Thing, Heartbeat. These are all just special sound effects they added on to some of the scores. We have the Dickies, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. There's one right now. 5-song collection, Killer Clowns, pretty good song. There is a video for this, you can find it on YouTube, Killer Clowns and the Dickies in it. The other song of interest is Eep Op Ork Ah Ah, which means I love you. If you're a fan of the Jetsons, you know that. There's an episode where Judy Jetson is a big fan of a new teen sensation. Her dad George isn't fond of him, but ends up becoming a fan by the end of the episode. And if I remember right, Judy, I think there was like a fan contest, and she's the one that wrote the song. And her favorite artist ends up doing it. But I don't know, it's kind of a fun little song. If you ever watch Jetsons and you recognize the song, you get a laugh at it. The main reason to get it, of course, is Killer Clowns. Next up, we got Halloween Hootenany, Zombie A Go-Go Records. This was Rob Zombie's label, one of them. It's now defunct, it's not around anymore. Featured some, I like surf rock type stuff, which is what pretty much this is. It does have an intro and outro by Zachary, who was a horror host, I think going back to the 50s, but he's a pretty well-known horror host. And he does the intro and outro there, and he's on one of the songs. Yeah, Zachary with Southern Culture on the Skids, doing Sinister Purpose. Southern Culture on the Skids does a few songs on here. Actually, a group I like quite a bit. Songs on here aren't the best representation of their music, but they're not bad. There's some good songs on here. Rob Zombie is on here. He performs with the Ghastly Ones, who usually do surf rock, just instrumentals, but in this case, Zombie provides some vocal work. It's one of the better songs on here. That's Halloween Hootenany, fun for all ages. Vampyre, Symhonies from the Crypt by the Midnight Syndicate. These guys put together soundscapes, kind of soundtracks for movies that don't exist, I guess is what they call it. But yeah, each one of their CDs has kind of a theme. This one's a Vampyre one. It's just all instrumental work. It's pretty good stuff. They have scored one movie, which is called Axe Giant, The Revenge of Paul Bunyan. which actually me and my friend Jeff, we just watched that last night. And I noticed their names at the end of the credits. I forgot they actually scored the movie. I knew they scored one movie. And that was the movie Axe Giant. And also me and Jeff, we did do a review, a video review, how you're supposed to post. Personally, the review is terrible. And I'm never going to do another one again. Jeff came in it very enthusiastically, and I just didn't really want to do it in the show. So, but at any rate, that's the Midnight Syndicate. Hear him around Halloween a lot. Tom Savini is a big fan of these guys. When he's doing his sculptures for like masks and stuff, he said he'd listen to these guys. But pretty popular. I'll try to wrap this up. I got a couple anime things here. This is Cowboy Bebop. This is actually a 4-disc set. A very popular anime series. Came out around 2000, 2001. I'm not too sure now. Around that time frame, I guess. I think it ran for 27 episodes, plus they did a movie. Very good, very cool music. Kind of an eclectic mix of different things. The 4th disc on here has actually got most of it's a concert, which the audience was surprised actually brought some of the people. The band itself was called Tank, and they were doing their stuff. They actually brought some singers and stuff, and they did a bunch of songs from the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. It's a pretty cool soundtrack. If you've never seen the series, I recommend it. It's one the American audiences tend to like a lot. Then we got, both these are for the same series. It's from Hellsing. This is a 13-episode TV anime series. As far as the series itself, it's a very good series, very cool. I like it a lot. There's a lot of complaints because it doesn't follow the manga very close. That's because there were only a couple issues in when they started the series, and the series actually overtook the manga, however you pronounce it. So they had to start creating their own storyline. After they finished the series, several years later, they finally finished the manga, and then they actually did another series called Hellsing Ultimate, which actually follows the original storyline. It's got more money, animations, probably more epic. People like that a lot more, but for a long time, this was all you had. It took like 7 years to do the Ultimate series, and there's only like 10 episodes. So, and same with the manga. It took them so long to finish it. For a long time, all you had was this series. Very cool music, though. I really like all the songs and stuff they used throughout the series. There's a 2 discs, separate cases. This is part 2. But I think that's it for my soundtracks. I actually got Hellsing kind of going in the background now. One other thing, because I didn't really show it off in the last video. Like I said, I got things on albums, which are highly collectible. CDs aren't necessarily too collectible, and in the internet age, you can just download and listen to things pretty easy. But some things that CDs have over, like albums, or even if you're cruising the internet, a lot of times there's bonus tracks. Sometimes, such as the case of the Rocky Horror here, they got all the lyrics to the songs, which is quite common on pop and rock CDs and things, but since they gave all the lyrics here, plus you get all these pictures and images. You get to flip through a little booklet, something you're not going to get with the album. I'm not aware of any editions that do something like this. But that's a pretty cool little bonus if you got CDs. Peep Show has a similar thing. There's actually some production notes about the music itself. You get to hear from John Harrison. And they got some images. They got a note from George Romero. He talks about the music and how everything's come together. You get several pages of stuff like that. A couple of interviews, various images, all sorts of notes. Once again, it's something you're going to get with the CD, but you're probably not going to get with an album. You're not going to get if you're just downloading songs or cruising YouTube or any other site trying to find music. So that's an advantage, CDs can have over albums or the internet. And that, folks, is it. That's the end of my soundtracks. I don't tend to buy them too often. I haven't bought CDs in a long time, and every once in a while I'll eyeball a new album. But if I ever buy some more, maybe I'll make another video. But until then, thanks for watching this one.
In this castle, baby, we are blessed in all. means I love you. One hour I took my baby for a ride in space.